Here we have golfer A, who is hitting a big slice. And on the other side, we have golfer B, who is very stoked because he's hitting straight shots. When you're working on some changes to fix a slice, think of it this way. If we have a pie chart, there will be some amount of shots that are created from golfer A that are actually pretty good, right? Let's say 25% of that. Whereas in golfer B's case, we probably have a lot more good shots than what this golfer A would, but it still has 25% of golfer A's problems of the slice. For us, in order to get this golfer A to be better, what we need to do is add in some things that are going to allow the percentage of shots to be better. For example, if we make a grip change, that could change A's pattern by 25%, and now 50% of his shots are decent, but the other 50% are still slices. We would need to understand their goals as to what's going to make them happy, and that would all depend on what level that they're at. Once that grip change can feel normal, we need to determine whether or not we need to make another change that is going to allow golfer A to now be closer towards golfer B, where they are hitting, let's say, 75% of their shots good. Now they still have that 25% of slice in there. That is just golf. There is going to be some amount of bad shots that we hit, just is what it is. And so for this extra 25%, it might be changing the wrist angles. What I believe so many golfers are struggling with is trying to find time just to focus on one of these changes. They're trying to do the grip change, the wrist angle change, and then they're trying to add in another 3 more things to try to get this pie chart better. But you can't get this pie chart full without getting this first change to feel comfortable. Once you can feel like this grip change is comfortable, then we move on to the wrist angle part. And then that's where we can get that extra 25% that we're looking for. And the trouble with some of the changes that people are making is the fact that they're taking these little segments, these little changes that aren't going to make any difference or a significant amount of difference in their golf game. It might only be a 5% change. But if you're actually wanting to make significant change, you need to make sure you're working on the right things. That's what a good golf coach is going to do. They're going to pick apart your golf swing and see why the slice is happening and realize whether it needs to be a grip change, a wrist angle change, how the forearms rotate, because that could be another one, and deciding whether or not this one is going to increase your chances of hitting a better shot or your overall shot that you hit to be better. If we look back at this 5% change again, it might be some drill you've seen on Instagram. You're going to have to do 5 different drills to equal the same amount as that one single change there. Because that single change there is going to give you that 25% change. But these ones here are only 5%ers. So we've got to make sure we're realizing what change actually needs to happen, because there's so many that can happen. I'm not saying that there's one change that's going to make your game miraculously better, but there are ones that will help it way more, such as these 3 things, instead of a drill on Instagram. And if you think you only have 2 hours a week and you've got to do 5 of these changes to get the same amount, we're now spending less than 30 minutes every single time on one thing. Whereas if we just focus that 2 hours of practice onto one change, whether that's the grip change, the wrist angles, or the forearm, you're going to get a lot more benefit out of the time that you're practicing. Now in golfer B's case, it might be totally fine for golfer B to add in a little bit of it, like a 5% change, because they're already in a good spot with how comfortable they are with the shots that they're hitting. Because the majority of their shots are going straight. But if we want just that 5% change, then sure, it might be something small. But if we're really needing to focus on a slice, on a significant slice where 75% of the shots are curving out towards the right, then we need significant effort on some things that are going to help us 25%. Not these small 5% things. This is just one way to think of swing changes when you are making them. And by breaking it down this way, I think that people can start to realize that it's not that these drills on Instagram are wrong. It's just that they're only going to help you 5%. Wouldn't you rather find the one that's going to help your game 25%? Because then you have to spend 5 times less the amount of time to get the desired result that you're looking for. If you've enjoyed this concept as to how we make swing changes, then you'll most likely enjoy my 27 insights in 27 days. I'll drop the link in the description and you can just sign up there 27 insights that are similar to these things here, and it just gives you a way to look at golf in a little bit of a different perspective. They're totally free and you can unsubscribe at any time. It's one thing understanding about what these changes will do and what percentage they will change your golf swing, but it's a whole nother thing understanding what things you need to change. And this swing analysis I just did from Nelly Korda that I'm going to link up there will get you on the right track to understanding what you need to implement into your golf game.